I'm back. The new July and August cool down. So the first one, shoulder mobility and a chest opener all in one. So it's an isometric movement, static. And we always do the first few cool downs standing up. So it's really straightforward. I think I did this maybe two cool downs ago. Yeah, this is it. So it's opening up the chest. That's why it's called the chest opener. Shoulder mobility, because we're bringing those arms up and back, so it's trying to get those hands behind the head. A lot of people kind of can't, so they're kind of doing this. So we don't want them to lock their fingers, especially right at the end of the workout when that blood's trying to flow really fast. So try to cue them not to do this. I like to do this, kind of just whatever, grab my forearms. People, if they're really flexible, can like grab the elbows. They can grab hold of their wrist like this. Kind of, it's different for each person. It depends on their shoulder mobility and flexibility, how far they can get their arms back behind their head. So show them all those options. They're not leaning their fingers. But yeah, and then once they get those arms behind the head, they kind of like, if they lean the head back, actually feels like really good. And it's really relaxing. So 30 seconds there. Then after that, it's kind of a back opener, but that sounds weird. So I just call it a back roll. This is not a static one. I know most of our cool downs are static, isometric, but there's a few exceptions always, right? So this is a back roll, 30 seconds. It might take them a while if we have 2 months of this, so they have plenty of time to learn it if they don't nail it this week. So they're gonna put their hands on their legs. Already this is a hard position for some people, bizarrely, because they have the support on their legs, but we wanna start with a flat back. So they have the support on their legs, and they're gonna roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, kind of, so watch my lower back is gonna round, and then I'm tucking my hips under and coming up. Hands back down onto the knees and gliding my hands up my thighs. Tall posture at the final position, hands back down, starting at the lumbar again, round, kind of roll. Get the gist. That feels really good. That's why I wanted to keep doing it. You want me to show you a few more? Feels really good. So we start with opening the chest with the first stretch, and then we kind of get to roll and open the back. Those two back to back feel really, really, really good. 30 seconds of that. Forward neck roll. I learned this, not the movements, this next thing I'm going to tell you at a workshop for seniors, about senior workshop. Never roll the neck back. Ugh, doesn't feel good, first of all. So you can roll to the side, you can roll to the other side, but never do a full 360. Don't do it. You can do it to yourself if you want. Don't have your clients do it. You can pinch some nerves back there, and probably some other reasoning that I am not remembering. So we did the side stretch last time. We're gonna do a forward neck roll. So you just drop the head in front of you, and you kind of roll side to side. So we're in the forward position, and we're just kind of rolling in the forward position. Okay, that feels really good. But again, we're not doing a full, okay? It's a contraindication for seniors, don't do it. 20 seconds of that. Yes, remember how in the warm-up I said things that are one movement, I'm doing 30 seconds, but things that involve like the eyes looking down or the head, I tend to want to go shorter, because I don't want to, anything that can involve the equilibrium and like inner ear, your periphery, your eyes. I just like, that's why the head, I don't want to do that for too long, for dizziness and stuff like that. So with your head drooped down and kind of your head going side to side, that might get people kind of dizzy or like, you know, loopy like. So that's why that's only 20 seconds, if you cared. If you were wondering, it wasn't an error. I did that intentionally. Onto the floor, lying cross body stretch, 20 seconds each side. I'm sure this has a more official name. I don't know, I don't care. It made sense to me. Lifting one leg up and bringing it over. Oh, I love this. And they can hold this leg down if they need to or want to. We want to be cueing them though to be keeping as much of their upper body down as they can. So if they can keep, like both of my shoulders, my left shoulder is on the floor right now. If they have the ability to do that, great. If not, if their shoulder is coming up a little, that's fine. Then remember, they have 2 months to try to gain some flexibility on this stretch. Oh, something just cracked in my back. Anyway, 20 seconds each side. A seated twist is the alternative for this one. I did this stretch with my Silver Sneakers people every single class. They're gonna cross one leg and then twist to the opposite direction. So I'm, watch, cross my right leg over my left, and I'm gonna spin around to my left. So same exact effect, close enough. Okay, so that's the seated version of that. Next stretch, leg pull with a point and flex, sorry. So if they're still on the floor from that other one, so they're gonna stretch both legs out, pull one leg in. Already they're getting a little bit of a hamstring stretch here, but they can keep the leg kind of as straight as they're able. They don't have to go for a perfectly straight leg. They can have a little bend there, but they wanna feel a little stretch here. And then we're gonna do a two for one. So they're gonna point and flex the foot. If they wanna do a few rolls, whatever feels kind of good on their calf and their shin and their ankle. So, what's up and down? That's 20 seconds each side. Again, for our folks that are unable to get to the floor, they'll be on their bench or their box. Seated hip stretch with a foot. I couldn't fit it all in there, but with the same thing. So they're gonna do that same seated hip stretch from the beginning. So they're crossing one leg over, leaning, but they can still add a little foot movement here. Point, flex, circle around, so they can still get that 2 for 1. Okay. Last one is our self-myofascial release. It's not. This time, it's a foam roller exercise, but it's not actually doing any rolling. They've done this before. I had it a few more cool downs ago. The longitudinal lying stretch is just one of the best uses of the foam roller. So we're going to revisit it. My dad had this, his physical therapist gave him this exercise for his shoulder. And it worked. I mean, like over a few months, it definitely worked. So you guys know this one. Sit on the very edge of it. Make sure your whole tailbone though is supported. So make sure they're not like way down here. Slowly come down. Head should also be supported. So make sure, again, tailbone and head. And then the goal here is to let the arms droop down. You remember this because we did some foam roller stuff a few months ago, right? Did we? Did I imagine that? We did. So yeah. 30 seconds or more. This can be a full relax, 60 seconds. This can be a full relaxation thing. The goal here is to open up the chest, improve upon shoulder mobility over time. Like my dad couldn't get his arm all the way down here. He had to put a pillow under this arm, and now he can get it fully down because it opened up his shoulder mobility over time, shoulder flexibility. Safest way to get out of this position is to fall to the floor. So please demonstrate that properly. Anyone who can't get onto the floor for this, we don't want to leave people out, right? Like how much does that suck? So I think if you bring an incline bench over, put it to like the first or second incline. Yeah, it's just hard for people who are deconditioned. If they're laying flat, they don't have the core strength to get up. We don't want to embarrass anyone, so maybe put it on a 1 or a 2 level. I think if they just lay on the bench and let their arms hang off the sides, it'll have the same effect. So let's do that for our folks who aren't able to get to the floor. For the foam rollers, I think that'll be good, right? I think that's it. Under 10 minutes, yay. Let me know if any of these if you have any questions about any of these or the modifications, and that is the new cool down.